Hello, everybody. Welcome on the ADHD Melly Show. Sorry again. I had some technical difficulty again, but this time it's not the computer, but the sound. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes these things happen, and I'm so grateful that you're here anyway. And we're going to have an amazing show, and it's going to be so cool. Before I start, I wanted to show you Pubble. Pubble is like a little card that you can just tap on someone's phone and they get your info. I'm going to show it to you now. So I have my phone, and like you can see, and I'm going to tap it up on the back, and the people is going to get my infos like this, just with one tap. So it's so easy and it's so convenient instead of buying cards all the time. So if you want to look on my Pubbles, you will have the same info that I just showed you there, and you can follow me on every platform. So today we're going to talk about with Erica about preserving their mental health, because when we simply have a busy schedule, sometimes we can just forget ourselves, right? So that's what we were going to talk about today. So thank you so much again for being here, and I hope you get a pleasant show. And if you have some comment, please check it out on the chat. I'll be so happy to just check it out. Today I'm using my tablet so I can see all your chats there. So I hope you're going to enjoy that show. And just tap it up for Erica.
There we go.
Hello! How
Hi.
are you today?
Yeah, I know I'm super stoked to be here, and I'm glad we could get everything working. So
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
here.
sometimes this happens, and we cannot see it until we try it, right? So
Yeah.
when we are starting a schedule really at 10, sometimes it's hard to see when it's problematic. So I'm sorry for us for being late, but we are here, and that's just what it matters. We're going to take off that stress out. Everything is working. It's just cool like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you can see we're the other side, but it's okay, right? And we're here and we're happy. So please introduce yourself, a little bit about your business and how you decide to create it.
Sure. So yeah, my name's Erica. I'm the founder and chief everything officer of Brodo. And Brodo is a protein infused, better for you edible cookie dough. And we're based out of Ontario, Canada. And yeah, like I launched the business in 2019, shortly after going backpacking through Southeast Asia. Met entrepreneurs, kind of got exposed to that lifestyle, and then decided to launch my own business. And I've always been super passionate about better for you foods, and cookie dough is such a nostalgic treat for me. So I decided to make a better, more improved version of it.
So you always talk on your social media how much you feel like sometimes mailed down. It's hard sometimes to manage your business alone. It's not as easy that you expect it to be, I guess. So can you talk to me a little bit about it? How you felt, and now how you feel about making your own business with all those struggles around it?
Yeah, I definitely underestimated how difficult being a solopreneur is, especially with like a physical, like CPG product. Yeah, so I guess when I launched the business, I just kind of thought of it as it being like a little side project. I never really envisioned it to get big and go anywhere. But yeah, it's hard, and especially if you don't have a team around you to kind of support you on those days when you need it most, it's really difficult. And um, yeah, I started building out like my network, and I got mentors and friends, and kind of had people around me to help push me on those hard days because there are many hard days. And I think it's important to recognize that it's normal and talk about it openly and show people that it's okay. Like stuff does come up, and you're more than equipped to deal with it, even though it sucks in the process.
Yeah, because you probably didn't expect it to grow so fast. Like you said, you're a
Yeah.
lot on TikTok, on the social
Mhm.
media, and you said that you sold all your products in like 24 hours, something like that. It must have been crazy to just deal to, oh my God, how? And you only sell in Canada. You don't sell where worldwide. If you did, it will be so big. And as you said, you're just alone. So
Mhm.
how do you deal with all those order and just being able to focus on the work? I know it's hard, okay, but you still did it, right?
Yeah, honestly, just taking it one day at a time, like, I think, things come in waves, right? Like, it seems like when everything is going wrong or when it's just, like, pure chaos, it seems to, like, all come at once, and then you're good for a little bit, and then all of a sudden it just, like, comes again, and it's like, "Okay, like, let's do this, this is gonna make me a better business owner in the end." So I kind of, like, changed my thinking of it, like, rather than, like, "Oh, why is this happening to me?" I'm like, this is happening for me. This is happening for a reason, and it's going to make me better. So, yeah, like I'm getting better at time management. Like I'm not perfect by any means. Like I still suck at some things, and I'm like learning and growing and evolving as an entrepreneur because I'm still pretty new to this lifestyle and this journey. Um, but yeah, I'm slowly starting to recognize that I can't do this alone forever, and I'm starting to grow the business and take on people to fill in the roles that I'm not necessarily super great at or have the time to do, which I think is really important.
So how it's been for you to hire people for the first time? How it was? It must be a relief, but sometimes so stressful because you let somebody in, do the job at your place. You know, it's your baby, right? How did you manage that?
So that's, like, very difficult for me still, because it's like yeah, you, like, create this thing and it's yours, and no one's gonna screw on the lid better than me. No one's gonna post a Instagram story as good as me, like, I care the most. So I think it's really important to let go and just trust, and bring people on that can help you and help grow your business. So, like, I'm in the process of getting things set up with a manufacturer, so I'm no longer gonna be making it myself, which is going to free up so much of my time, which I'm really excited about. And then, yeah, just like slowly starting to bring in people. Like, I'm going to hire someone to like come in and do demos with me and go to stores and like trade shows and help me create brand awareness and stuff like that. Cause you physically cannot do everything by yourself as much as you want to. And as much as it seems like, oh, I could totally do that. Like, no, you will be so burnt out. You will be miserable. You're not going to grow the business at the rate that you want it to, and it's just not going to be a pleasant experience for you. So I think, yeah, hiring a team is very important.
But you like you said, you only ship in Canada. What
Yeah.
what happened to that decision? Because probably if you would, or if you were, you still did a decision of stopping your growth, you know, because it's stopping your growth to just shipping in Canada, you know, it's something that you decide to do. Is it for your mental health because you were scared having too much work for one person, or what? Why did you have that decision to just ship in your country?
So it was more of a I can't ship outside of Canada. Like my product's frozen and I have to ship it frozen. So I already have a lot of problems in like within the country, especially in the summer, like FedEx losing my packages or a customer getting home like after being away for 2 days and their package is on their doorstep and it's like melted and spoiled, you know? So
Mhm.
there's a lot of variables that I can't control and like I have been struggling to keep up with my Canadian demands, and because it's, like, literally me, like, I share this on my social media, but it's like, I moved everything back to my dad's house, and in the garage, it's, like, a freezer, and then I have a spare bedroom, and I, like, go into the garage, and I get the cookie dough, and then I go in the spare bedroom, and then I'm, like, picking and packing these orders, and then the FedEx guy comes and picks up, like, all my boxes off of my front porch. So it's, like, very, very, very small, operation-wise right now. Um, so I think like a lot of brands get excited and they just want to do everything and they want to be everywhere and sell everywhere. And I think you need to be careful with that because it can be an issue, especially if you can't keep up with demand or if you oversell. Like I did that before. Like when my first TikTok went viral, like my Shopify notification was like cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. I'm like, oh, like I don't really have my inventory tracked that well right now because like I didn't think that I needed to, and I kind of was having like slower sales at the time, and I kind of overshot how much inventory I had. So I was panicking, and I had my inventory like in the kitchen, and then in my living room, and then I'm like counting jars and making sure I have enough, and then didn't have enough. So I remember messaging my friend. He would come with me to the kitchen and help me make as many jars as like we physically can. We made like I think 350 over 5 hours or something.
Oh my
So
god.
we went in at, like, I think it was, like, 10 or 11 at night and just, like, made as many as we physically could, and I'm like, "I'm doing it for TikTok, I'm doing it for TikTok." And, and then, yeah, within 24 hours, I shipped out, like, 150 orders of, like, all these jars, and it was so wild to me, and, like, in the back of my head, I'm like, "Oh my god, can you imagine if I, like, sold to the States?" It would be like I would be done, and people would be like, "Where's my order?" Like, 2 weeks later, but, yeah.
Yeah, people will have panicked. At the same time, it's the right thing that you did that because, like you said, your product is frozen. I haven't think about that. I thought it was like a shelf package, and it was not frozen, not cold or anything. In my mind, that was it. People don't see the background of how the product is made. So you did
Mhm,
your kitchen was a home kitchen, and you have to transfer it into a commercial kitchen. So how did you make that happen? Because in your house now, you're in your house, you had your business and you had your personal life. How did you manage that? Because it's hard when you see your product on the table.
mhm, yeah, um, yeah, so I guess rewind a little bit, like, in Canada, like, you can't make product and sell product out of your home, you have to have, like, a commercial kitchen that gets regularly inspected by Health Canada. So I found one and I, would pay by the hour and just go in and make my product, and then I stored it in my car for 3 months because I didn't have, like, a space to put it, and I had a roommate at the time, and we had a very small space, and I felt bad, like, having all my containers and stuff just, like, all over our apartment. So I would, like, sit in the front seat of my car and pick and pack, like, in the Canadian winter with no heat on in my car and just, like, bring all my orders to Canada Post, and then I ended up getting a commercial space, like a warehouse, because in my head, I had this big, misconception. I'm like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna need a warehouse. I'm a business. I need to, like, separate my personal life from my business, and I need to, like, drive in somewhere and have, like, storage somewhere." Which was a big mistake. It was just so much overhead, and I wasn't making money, and I wasn't at the volume yet where I really needed that. So I ended up moving everything back into my condo, and I lived in a one-bedroom condo at the time. So there really was no Erica personal life, Erica business life. It was really all one. So I, like, woke up, rolled out of bed, and you go in my living room, and it's just boxes everywhere, and like a freezer like next to my TV, and like I had like a whiteboard with like my vision board or whatever, and tape everywhere, and yeah, it was all over the place. But I think like I appreciate that stage of my journey because I had to go through it and I had to it's just like it's a part of it, and it's startup, so it's like super common, and I think like people need to share that part of their journey more, and like not just like I guess the fast forwarded like 2 years into it version where you actually have a facility and like it's working for you. Like no one shows all of the things that you have to get through to get there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's the right. It's good. We have winter. I'm Canadian too. I'm from Montreal. We have winter. Why not use it as a freezer, right? It's
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
it's free.
Mhm.
It's
It is
free
free and it's cold. Yeah, yeah. It works.
So, how did you manage in your mental state to just stay focused in those challenges? I know you had breakdowns. I've seen your social media, so I've seen it happen. I've seen that it's not fairy tale happening come true. There's a lot of work through where you are right now. It's a lot of work. But how did you feel like refocusing yourself when you had those breakdowns, when you felt bad and you wanted to stop it up because you were like thinking, I'm not capable of doing that? How did you just refocus yourself on prioritize your business?
Yeah, so that's something that like a lot of people don't really talk about on social media because it's kind of a touchy
Taboo.
subject, and I think a lot of people are almost ashamed or like they don't really think it's normal to talk about it. But yeah, I mean, for me, like I already was dealing with a bunch of things, and I started doing therapy because I just like I had a really hard time accepting that um like work-life balance isn't really a thing. It's kind of like it's intertwined, right? So I was trying to like separate these two things really hard, and it was making me exhausted because I was literally living in my workspace. I was immersed in it, so you can't really escape it. Um, yeah, so I guess I just accepted that and I started taking better care of myself. Like I remember I'd wake up, roll out of bed, get right into work, go into emails, and at the end of the day, I would be like, "Well, what did I even do today? Did I even eat? Did I get outside?" Like so I think I also started to learn that the more you prioritize yourself and the more you fill your cup, you can fill others' cups and you can take care of your business more. So you can't do anything if you're burnt out. And as much as we like to think that we're superhumans and like hustle culture is so toxic, and it's like you need to work 7 hours a week, like or 7 days a week, 7 hours a week, um, for like 12 hours, 15 hours a day, and like no weekends, and you can't have a life. And like that's not true at all. Like you can make it work. And yeah, so I think the other thing that's really helped me is just have like really awesome people in my corner. And like I have one friend, I actually met her through LinkedIn, and I think I don't know how many times I've texted her, "I'm having a crisis." And then she like we get on a call and I'm like, "I don't know what to do about this. I'm really stressed out." Or like the other week I messaged my mentor and I was like, "Are you free? I'm having a crisis." And then he like got on a call with me. So I think having people around you who can be there for you, and I think also not being ashamed of like asking for help is like really beneficial and it's going to help you.
Yeah, it's true. So you really need a good circle around you. You need to have nice followers that really care about you, just not just see you successful and you know what I mean. It's about just having balance, and it's also about having a right circle. And it's okay, guys, if you need help or you need a therapist or you need a coach. It's okay to not be able to do it alone. There's no real school that's going to learn you how to do a cookie dough business.
Mhm.
Okay, there's no school for that. You need to learn it out, and after you're able to teach other person, because I've seen, you have your cookie dough business, but you didn't stop it there. You decide to do a coaching business too. So how do you manage all these things and just stay sane?
I know. I don't know. I've always been a very, I guess, hard worker. I always like to keep busy. So honestly, and when I'm passionate about something, it doesn't really seem like work to me. Like I love helping brands and I love like being a part of someone's journey and like watching them grow and kind of contributing to that. So that yeah, the coaching is kind of like a side project that I started to do. And I love meeting people and mentoring people. And it's kind of nice for me because it's kind of just funds that are being funneled back into my business and they're kind of helping take my business to the next level as I transfer everything over to a manufacturer and kind of build out like my go-to-market strategy. But yeah, I do sleep and I don't work as hard and as crazy as it may seem. Like yeah, I'm not Superwoman.
So how much employee do you have now that's are full time to help you with your business?
Oh, no one. Not yet. Not yet. Yeah, I'm hiring someone to help with like my email marketing. And then like my manufacturer, they'll be taking care of like making all the product. And then I have like a team that's doing all my new branding. They're doing my website. And then a broker, and I'm just slowly starting to like fill in the gaps. And then eventually, as I grow, I think like early 2022, mid 2022, I'll have my first full-time hire, which will be really exciting. I would love to have someone to have on my team and, just like hang out with and talk to. Yeah, looking forward to that.
So what's your plan for 2022? Will you ship in the US or stuff like that? What is your plan?
I would love to, but I'm trying to be very smart and strategic about where I'm going to be selling. So yeah, I think like I will. We're going to do my first production run soon. I'm not sure when that's going to happen. Likely towards the end of the year, and then I'll be launching into retail stores in Canada, and then still selling online. And then I think maybe mid 2022, I'm going to start selling my product online in the States. It's a little tricky though because I will have to find like a 3PL or distribution in the states across the border, and then it would just get shipped out from there. So it's just a matter of putting all the pieces in place, making sure I have enough money and inventory and all of that to handle that. So we'll see where it goes and what happens with that, but it's coming.
So you just told me that you live back to your parents. So how does it work with your parent? Because you're an adult that were living by yourself for a while, and you just decide I'm going to go back to my mother's home, or your father's home, and it could be difficult mentally too to just accept that you cannot do this anymore. So how did you deal with that?
So I moved for a few reasons. I lived like towards Ottawa, and that's like where I launched my business. And I moved 3 times there in the past like year and a half. And I found a place, I really loved it, and then my landlord told me he was selling it, so
Oh.
I had to get out. So I was like, okay, well, do I stay in Ottawa or do I move towards Toronto? Because that's like where I grew up in that area, and I didn't want to have to move like all over again from Ottawa to Toronto, whatever. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to rush into a place. I'm going to move home to my dad's and continue to operate out of there while I get things set up with my manufacturer because I ended up finding a manufacturer in Toronto. So that's kind of what I've been doing. Like I've been getting things going with the manufacturer. I'm still operating small scale, like picking and packing at my dining room table, doing all of that fulfillment on my own. I did get a condo in the GTA, so I'm closer to my co-packer, and then I'll be able to move in there full time, like once I get things going with the co-packer. But yeah, like it definitely sucked moving back home, not gonna lie. I love my personal space and I love having a routine and doing my own thing and yeah, like it's difficult, especially like going back to the town that you grew up in, and I'm not really friends with a lot of people that I used to be friends with, so it was really like lonely in a way, I guess. Um, but yeah, like I think the pandemic has kind of been a blessing in disguise for me because I've made so many virtual friends. Like I really, really got comfortable being on Zoom calls and like Google Hangouts and stuff and just like going on and talking to people like from all over the world. And now I have like really solid friendships with them and I've never even met them. And like for example, like I'm literally in like a hotel room right now in Vancouver and I've never been here. And this week I'm just like meeting up with people that I've talked to online that I've never met in person. And it's so weird like meeting them and I'm like, I feel like I know you. I feel like we're really good friends. And like we've never and it's like, oh, you're so tall. And it's like, yeah. It's so weird to like see people in person after like talking online for so long. But yeah, I feel like every season has its purpose and you just have to enjoy the journey.
Hey, it's true. I've been to Vancouver. I've been there. It's a
Okay.
very nice place. It's like you're above the ocean. You have the mountain, and you have no
Yeah.
snow at the same time. So it's very nice. I've been there. It's very cool. It's like if you're not from Canada, guys, you have to know that Canada is very large, but you know that on the map. But I the
Yeah.
east, the west coast is not the same at all. It's like
Hmm.
another country. Seriously, okay, it's very not the same. So
Hmm.
for us traveling west to west is different for a lot of things. So it's like really being in a new country. It's very cool. It's a very nice experience that I had. I've been in Alberta too, in the
Oh,
Rockies.
nice.
I
Wow.
really loved it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I bet. Yeah, it's beautiful out here. I've never been here, so this is like exciting for me. And it's really beautiful. And I wish I was here longer because it's raining the whole time I've been here, but you know,
It's Vancouver. Vancouver is raining all the
it
time.
is. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're going to switch on the online part of your business. You said you're going on TikTok, you're on Instagram, you're in LinkedIn. You know that social media are cool for a lot of things, but there's a lot they can be bad things like bullying, they can be people
Yeah.
that are treating you badly and stuff like that. So how did you deal with that? Did you experience things like that? And do you want to talk to me a little bit about it?
People can be really mean. What's really mean, especially like the bigger you get and the more exposure you get and visibility on any platform, you're likely going to have people who are just hateful for no reason. They don't even have to know you. So yeah, I mean, I really struggled with it at first because I guess even before like I became an entrepreneur, I had really low self-esteem and I had to do a lot of work on myself. And I've I've come a long way for sure. But yeah, if you're having a hard day and you go on Instagram and like someone's freaking calling you names and you don't even know who they are and leaves you a 1-star Google review and they've never even ordered. Like, I've had things like that happen and it's really upsetting. But like you just have to learn to grow thick skin. And it's so true though. You can have like 500 positive comments said to you and then one negative one, and that negative one is just gonna play on a loop in your head forever, perpetually. So I think like I started to take my focus off of those negative comments and really just focus on the positive ones. Um, and yeah, just like not let it get to me. And if someone comments something mean or nasty or whatever, or they message something rude, I just honestly block them. I'm like, honestly, it's not even worth the energy. I have so much to do. Like this person is just being mean for no reason. So I think people need to recognize that they're out there and like that some people just do that all day long. They just go and they comment on people's content for no reason and they're hateful. But yeah, it does suck. It does suck. And it's not super easy for me either. Especially too like sometimes on LinkedIn I get the odd comment here or there, which can be nasty, but I think look at the bigger picture, look at all the people who support you, and then look at the one or two negative Nancys, and they have no way in anything. So
It's true, but
yeah.
sometimes it's hard, like you said. So, what do you do when you have a very bad day and you want to recenter yourself and just see the positive, but you're in a dark place for any reason in your life? What will you say to those people that are living those stressful moments too and don't know what to do when they feel like very bad?
Yeah, I was there honestly. Like it goes in waves. And especially too, if you're just starting out on your journey, like it can really suck and you're probably gonna want to give up many times. But I think you just have to like persevere and it sounds so cheesy. Like, yeah, just get through it. It sucks and I understand it and I've wanted to give up so many times. But I think for me, like having mentors has helped so much. Like I was kind of like throwing like a sob party or a what is it a pity party like a week or two ago because everything just seems to be going wrong at once. And yeah, like I messaged my mentor and he's like, yeah, like suck it up. So I think I kind of need someone to give me some tough love sometimes. And then also too, like if you're like immersed in your work and you're struggling and mentally you're not there and you're just like if you have all these negative thoughts and stuff, just like unplug, like go for a walk or sit down with yourself and like ask yourself, like I do more mindfulness, like I check in with myself. So like say I'm working in the morning or whatever and it's lunchtime and I'm like, oh, it's lunchtime, I should probably go eat something to eat. Like, see if am I hungry? Like I ask myself, like, am I okay? Do I need anything right now? Can I continue working? Is this healthy for me? Like, should I go for a walk? Like I think it's important to take care of yourself and not go in that spiral because I think some people just get caught up in, oh, this is going wrong, and then, oh, I need to like focus on this problem and like completely neglect every area of my life just to get this one problem solved. But it just is kind of it's hard on you and it's hard on your body, like physically, mentally. It's important to unplug and recharge and then come back to something with like, fresh views on it, feeling better, like eating, having a coffee, whatever you need to do, take care of yourself. um, and like I say, like, you need to run the day, don't let the day run you. And that's what I like let happen for so long. Like at the end of the day, I'm like, I'm literally exhausted. I did not take care of myself today. I got beat down so hard today and I felt like I was being productive in the time, but like at the end of the day, you're so tired. And then it kind of just like snowballs into like the following days. So yeah, like take care of yourself and have people around you that you can go to when you're going through that.
Yeah, because sometimes you're over focusing on something, and for me too, with ADHD, sometimes I'm just on the thing that I needed to do, and I forget to eat, exercise. I can be days without going outside.
Yeah.
That's no good, It's not good for your mental health. So you just stop. The problem's going to can wait, It's still going to be
Yeah.
there in an hour or two. It's not going to go away. So you
Yeah.
can go. You can do something else. Refresh yourself. Take a
Mhm.
bath. And self care is not just only about taking baths and stuff like that. Is also just refocusing your goals and just know what you can do. Like you say, you're going to you hire some independent worker, and one day you're going to have your employee. That's because you understand that you're just human and you cannot do everything by yourself, and that's
Mhm.
normal. And if you did want to do everything by yourself, it wouldn't be healthy.
Mhm. Yeah, no, it's so true. I just wanna acknowledge hello, Chris. Thank you for coming. Long time no see.
Hello, hello.
And I think
And
Travis,
I love
Travis
you
said something.
guys. There's a lot of people. I'm sorry. We were so talking that I've seen you. Don't worry. Thank you, Travis, for being here too. I'm so happy.
Yeah,
Richard, for you for being here. Gabby too. I'm so happy. Erica's going
yeah,
to
thanks.
look into that. Thank you so much, Big Chillin, for being here on Twitch. Thanks so much for people on Twitch too. I'm so grateful. Sorry, like I said, I'm on my tablet, so sometimes I need to
Yeah.
just touch my screen. Sorry, but that's things that happen. And I'm so grateful for you to be here. Like you can see, I always do my best to make the show work, no matter what happens.
Yeah.
No matter my computer. And that is the proof. I could have been just, oh, fuck that. I'm not going to do my show today. I don't have any sound. I cannot hear Erica just say, what the heck. But I decided to take a plan B and go on my tablet so I'm able to see your comments. And I'm
Mhm.
so happy to see you all here. And thank you, Chris, for
Yeah,
being
thanks.
here and supporting us because you support me so much. And I see you supporting Erica so much too. I was wondering if you have any question for us because I always love to answer your question, and I'm sure Erica will too. It's going to be so cool to hear you out. So if you have any question, so I was wondering, Erica, did you have something that you want to share to this audience today? Did you have something that we haven't talked, but you want to share, or something like that?
Um, yeah, I mean, if you're starting out on your journey and it sucks, because I've been there, so yeah, I guess when I first started, I wasn't on LinkedIn. I had no friends who were entrepreneurs, and I kind of turned to LinkedIn to connect with people because I was really, really struggling. I didn't know how to grow my business. So if you're in that position and you find yourself stuck, or if you're plateaued, or you don't know how to like take things to the next level, like, I would try to find someone who's done it before and, like, have them not necessarily mentor you, because like, sometimes it takes some time to build trust with someone and then have them take on the mentor role. You can't just like, "Hey, will you be my mentor?" It doesn't really work like that. Just, like, start reaching out to people who you admire, who have kind of done what you've done or a few steps ahead of you, but then also having people like around you who are going through the same challenges as you. And I think it's really important to just talk about openly your struggles and ask for help when you need it, because that's something that I really struggled with for a long time. Is I'm so stubborn. I'm so stubborn, and it's a blessing and a curse. So if someone tells me that I can't do something, I'm like, no, you're wrong, I'm going to do it. So it's good in that sense, but at the same time, like, I do not like asking for help, and that's something like, that's a trait that I've kind of had to unlearn and understand that you can't grow a business without people. Like, you need people. You can't do everything on your own, and you need to ask for help if you're struggling. So yeah, I think just like start reaching out to people who can help you, and like, you'll see the payoff from it, and then you'll be like, wow, why didn't I do this sooner? Because that's literally what I did. I was like, why did I wait 8 months to start doing this? Like, it would have made my life so much easier.
Yeah, it's true, and I feel the same. I took a lot. I have a business website, design your business, and I never ask anyone for help or anything. It never. I always had client, except on the pandemic, but that's another thing. But I always had client, but I never grow up and having employee and stuff like that. I never
Mhm.
grew. And maybe if I accepted to talk to somebody and being mentored, maybe I would have been bigger and being so successful. We never know. And
Mhm.
that's the problem. You have to relearn that. And this happens because sometimes we have trust issues. It's like linking to each other. You don't want to trust somebody because you're scared they're going to hit you in the face. And this is something you have to undo. And for me, it was very hard for a long time. That's why I decided to create the show too, is because I wanted to trust people and have guests and talk about serious conversation that nobody is willing to do because they're too scared of sharing their story. And for you, you haven't no difficulty. We see you in tears and pictures sometimes. You're so open. So my question will be, what this made you decide to be so open and accepting your own struggle and just show it to the world? Because you're really, really open, right?
Yeah. Um, I guess for me, I went on LinkedIn and like I've talked about this before, but like I just scrolled on my homepage, like my news feed, and it was just like win after win after win. And it's like, oh my God, I got into this account. And then, oh my God, I fundraised $1 million. And I was like literally in like a puddle of my own tears. And I'm like, what? Why do I feel like such a loser? Like everything's going wrong in my life. Because at the time, like there were many things that I was struggling with my business and then my mental health and everything, and it was really, really hard. And um, no one was like openly posting about the struggles and like the impact that it has on you, like physically and mentally as a person. Like trying to get a business off the ground, like it's no joke. So I think like I started to recognize that like there are probably other people out there who feel the same as me who are super small, they're solopreneurs, they don't have a ton of money to hire out a team or like have the capabilities to start fundraising or have like a ton of revenue. So I just started posting like the whole side, not just the shiny side of being a business owner. Kind of for my own benefit, like it was a good way for me to like talk about my struggles openly with people. But then I also saw like how big of an impact it had on people, and that's something that I never ever thought would happen. Like I had I think 12 connections on LinkedIn like a year ago, and then now it's grown, and it's because people resonate with what I post, and I never thought that would be a thing ever. And I've had like so many incredible phone calls with incredible entrepreneurs, and they're like, yeah, like I went through this, and like I get it, like you show this side of being a business owner, and like I appreciate that, and like I really want to share that side of my life too, but it's scary for me, and I don't like being vulnerable, and like I'm getting there. Like I think it's showing people that it's like it's okay, like we're human, like you can fuck up, and like have you can have times where things don't always go right. And I think too, like with like hustle culture and like there's this big misconception that like entrepreneurs have it all figured out, and it's not true at all. Like I literally have no business background. I half the time I wake up and I'm like, or in the middle of the night, are you even a business owner if you don't wake up in the middle of the night? You're like, what am I doing? Like, so I think like we need to have more open conversations about it and like talk about all of the other things that come with it. Like, yeah, it's really cool to create something out of nothing and bring value to people and make people happy and have like, proof in the numbers, but also too, like, what are you doing to get there? Like, what is the process like? What do you have to go through? What are the hardships like? Like, how do you overcome them? So yeah, and I see now like more and more people are starting to kind of show that on social media. And I think the way that the world is going, especially with TikTok, a lot of people are they appreciate the candidness and the transparency. And like Instagram versus TikTok, like Instagram has kind of been known as toxic and like photoshopped and very shiny, and like usually
Yeah.
influencers only show the one side of their life that they want you to see, but there's so much more behind those photos that we don't know about, right? And like I'm not sure if you've seen those videos on TikTok, and it's like Instagram versus reality, and then they have an influencer like show up a photo of them, and it's like them like I don't know, like in Miami and like partying and like looking really great with like a glass of wine or something. And then they're like, yeah, before this, like I was crying, my boyfriend dumped me, and then my mom took this picture. So it's like, there's so much more that goes on behind the scenes, and like no one talks about it. So that's why I like TikTok and I gravitate towards it, because like I go open the app, and there's like a girl on there, and she's like rolling out of bed with like her hair not even brushed and no makeup on, and she's like, oh my God, you guys, like you wouldn't believe what just happened. And like it's like relatable content, and it's very transparent, and like as a viewer, I really appreciate that. So that's the content that I want to put out there, and just like be honest and open about everything.
It's true, and I like it too. Like for me, the ADHD Melly show is the same thing. I don't expect anyone to be super dressed and stuff like that. I put a
Yeah.
pool and I just put my makeup on. I don't care. It's the content that's valuable, and I think it's because of people like you that shows like that now exist, or people are more open to share the struggles and the reality of how it is to be an entrepreneur because it's not easy,
Mhm.
guys. Okay, it's not easy. I know what it is. For the ADHD Melly show is the same thing. I struggle so badly to have my first guest. Okay, you have no idea. I had send like 20 message, 20 people to expect, please be my guest. I need experience. And the experience come with doing. It doesn't come like this magically.
Yeah.
And people think that you're successful overnight. You just been lucky. It's not luck, okay? It's hard work.
No. Yeah, it's hard work, it's long nights, and, yeah, and then, yeah, you're an overnight success, and people don't see what goes on behind it, so, yeah.
So yeah. So what will you say to people that want to start a business?
Um, yeah, I guess, like, sit down with yourself and write down whatever you're passionate about, and then see if there's a way to monetize it. Like, I think a lot of people, I think, get into business for the wrong reasons, and if you're only in it for, like, the monetary gain, like, if you want to get, like, a lot of money right away, like, you're in for a rude awakening because that's not the case a lot of times, it's very rare, and, like, even now, like, I'm really not like, with CPG, you don't really make money for the first few years, so, I think have a strong why and make sure that why is not money. Make sure it's whatever your passion is and that you're bringing value to people because that's the thing that's going to keep you going on those hard days. Because if you're not making money and that's all you want to do and that's why you're in it and you're seeing nothing in your bank account, like on those days where everything really sucks, you're not likely to push through those days. You're going to be like, okay, well, I'm scrapping this. What's the next thing that can make me money? So think have a strong why and make sure whatever it is, you're passionate about it and you're bringing value to other people because that's what matters the most.
Exactly. It's like in the show. I'm not here to make $1,000. Not now, at least maybe
Yeah.
one day, but it's more about helping people. You have to have a right why, okay? If it's just cash, it probably won't work, okay?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah.
I'm studying, I have two jobs, and the ADHD Melly show. Sometimes you have to do what you need to do to make
Yeah.
things happen, and it's not always simple. One day I hope to get over one job, but not today.
Yeah.
So, if you don't have any question, we're going to go. And Erica, do you have an ending word to say to the people before we leave?
Thanks for watching. I had a really great time and I love talking about this. So, yeah, no, I appreciate being on and sharing my story and talking about all the struggles of being a business owner because we know it's not easy.
So bye everybody. I hope to see you soon. Don't forget to tell us if you repeat. We're going to check it out. All the comments you will post after the video is online. Don't worry, we're going to respond you if you have any question for us. So thank you so much, and I see you next Friday. Bye
Mhm.
everybody.
Bye.